So, good day everyone. Today I'll be discussing my report and it's all about ornamental fish. So, when we say ornamental fish it is a freshwater or marine fish na hindi natin nakakain or kinakain. So, ginagawa sila para alagaan or pang-display lang sa aquarium dahil sa magagandang kulay nila, yung unique patterns nila at saka yung magandang fin shapes nila. So, the common ornamental species is the bettas, goofies, molly, goldfish, koi, tetras, angelfish, at etc. So, marami pang iba. So, malaki ang global economic value ng ornamental fish dahil sobrang laki ng pet and aquarium trade. And dito sa Philippines is maraming small scale breeders, farmers at hobbyists ang kumikita sa pag-aalaga at pagbebenta ng ornamental fish. So, dito naman tayo sa aquaculture culture system. So, may iba't ibang culture system na ginagamit depende sa life stage ng isda. So, sa aquarium tanks is ginagamit para sa broodstock at small-scale breeding. Yung sa hatchery tanks naman is dito nilalagay ang eggs hanggang sa maging larvae. Then, yung nursery tanks is larvae to fry stage. Then, yung grow-out tanks or ponds is para sa pagpapalaki ng fry into juveniles and adults. Yung sa RAS or recirculating aquaculture system naman is it is a high value species. So, mas control at mas stable ang environment dito. So, basically, importante talaga yung culture environment para mas mataas ang survival rate. So, dito naman tayo sa life stages. So, nakapaloob na dito yung feeds nila, yung culture system nila, yung life support nila, tsaka yung water parameters. So, sa egg stage is usually nasa hatchery tank sila or incubation jar. So, yung kailangan nila na parameters is yung temperature is 26 to 28 degrees Celsius, yung pH is 6.5 to 7.5, then kailangan ng high dissolved oxygen. So, wala pa silang feeds kasi nakarely pa sila sa yolk sac. So, naglalagay din ng methylene blue para maiwasan ang fungal infection. So, sa stage na to is super sensitive yung eggs kaya dapat stable talaga ang water quality. So, the larvae stage naman is pagkapisa ng eggs is magiging larvae na sila. So, nilalagay sila sa larval rearing tanks na mababaw yung tubig. So, kailangan dito is yung temperature is 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. Then, yung DO is greater than 5 din. Kailangan ng clean water, mahinang current ng water. So, yung sa feeds nila is kailangan nila ng infusoria, yung crucifers, yung artemia, nauplay, tsaka sa stage na to is mabilis silang mamatay kapag maling pagkain or madumi yung tubig. Kaya importante ang gentle aeration at fine mesh screens. So, sa pangatlo naman is yung fry stage. So, kapag medyo lumaki na sila at marunong na kumain ng malaking feeds is nililipat sila sa nursery tanks. So, ang kailangan nila is yung temperature is 24 to 30 degrees Celsius. Yung pH is 6.5 to 8. Yung feeds nila is crushed flakes, micro pellets, and Artemia daphnia. So, kailangan ng regular water changes and sponge filters para di sila masipsip or masugatan. Then, yung sa pang-apat naman is yung juvenile stage. So, kapag mas malaki-laki na sila, so tinatawag na silang juveniles. So, pinapalaki sila sa grow-out tanks or sa ponds. Then, yung feeds nila is pellets, yung worms, and of course, yung frozen or live food. Then, sa focus sa stage na to is yung growth. Kaya importante ang good aeration, filtration at yung lighting. So sa adult stage naman is ito na yung fully grown na ornamental fish or fish. So pwedeng maging broodstock or pang-display lang sila. So, uh, yung sa parameters nila is yung temperature is 24 to 28 degrees Celsius, yung pH is 6.8 to 7.8. Yung feeds nila is yung pellets, live food like worms, brine shrimp, and yung color enhancing feeds. So sa adult stage is importante ang strong filtration or full filtration at stable temperature para healthy ang brood stock at hindi madaling magkasakit. Dito naman tayo sa propagation. So, how ornamental fish are breeding. So, ito yung main part ng production sa aquaculture. So, propagations includes broodstock selection, spawning, incubation, nursery rearing, and grow out stage. So, para maging successful ang breeding program, dapat tama ang pagpili ng broodstock at tama ang setup. So, sa natural spawning is, ito yung natural na paraan ng pagpaparami. So, common ito sa guppy, molly, goldfish, koi, tetras, and angelfish. So, may tatlong methods yung natural spawning. So, live bearers. So, tulad ng guppy at molly is nanganak sila ng fry directly. Fry directly sila, hindi sila nangingitlog. So, sa egg scatters naman is tulad ng goldfish and koi. So, naglalabas sila ng eggs kung saan-saan. So, kadalasan sa plants or sa spawning mops. So, yung lalaki rin na ornamental fish is doon na niya lalagyan ng milk pagkalabas ng egg. Then, yung sa pangatlo is yung egg layers is tulad ng tetras is kailangan nila ng dim light at soft water para mangyari yung spawning. So, requirements para maging successful ang natural spawning is kailangan nila ng good water quality, healthy broodstock, proper tank setup, and spawning materials. So, mayroon tayong tinatawag na spawning, no? So, ginagamit ito sa species na mas mahirap paanakin naturally. So, pag hindi sila nanganganak naturally, so kailangan ng artificial spawning. So, tulad ng koi at goldfish. So, mayroon tayong tatlong methods, no? The first one is yung hormone injection. So, ginagamitan sila ng hormones para ma-trigger yung spawning nila. Then, yung stripping is manual na kinukuha yung eggs tsaka milk ng ornamental fish. Then, yung artificial fertilization is yung paghahalo ng eggs at sperm sa bowls. Then, the transfer sa incubation tanks. Then, yung advantage ng artificial spawning is para ma-sure talaga na mag-spawn para maraming eggs. Of course, mas synchronize ang reproduction as mas kontrolado ng farmer. Sa feeding naman is meron tayong natural food saka artificial food. So, sa natural food is for larvae and fry. So, meron tayong tinatawag na Infusoria. This is a microorganism, very small to. Then, yung rotifers larvae, Artemia is, yung rotifers is for larvae. Then, yung Artemia is for fry to juveniles. Then, yung rotifers tsaka yung Artemia is very high protein to, no? Then, yung Daphnia, yung pang-apat Daphnia. So, ito yung micro crustacean to. So, importante yung natural food kasi madaling tunawin to, no? Then, high protein. Tapos, perfect size for small larvae. Then, meron din tayong artificial feeds. Ito yung micro pellets, yung crushed flakes, grower pellets, and color enhancing feeds. So, pwede rin tayong gumawa ng homemade na artificial feeds, no? So, mayroon tayong tinatawag na yung egg yolk solution and yung gel food. So, sa aquaculture is importante na hindi sobra yung feeding para hindi mabaho yung tubig, tsaka para maiwasan yung ammonia spike. Then, sa genetics in ornamental fish naman is sa ornamental aquaculture is yung common yung selective breeding para mas maganda yung kulay, mas mahaba yung fins, mas maganda yung body shape, mas mabilis yung growth, mas matibay mas resistant sila sa disease. Then, yung common species dito is yung betta, guppy, and koi. Then, may problem kasi kapag sobra yung inbreeding is pwedeng lumalabas yung deformities, humihina yung immune system, mababa yung survival rate nila. Kaya sa aquaculture is importante talaga yung broodstock rotation. So, dito naman tayo sa diseases of ornamental fish. The common diseases is yung egg or white spot, yung maliliit na puting tuldok sa katawan at fins. So, yung cause nito is yung parasite. Then yung fungal infection naman is para siyang white cottony growth sa skin or fins. Tapos tumutubo sila dahil sa sugat. Pag may sugat yung ornamental fish is tumutubo ito dahil sa fungal infections. So din yung fin rot is yung parang yung fin nila is parang napupunit or nakukupas ba or nauubos yung basta yung buntot nila parang nawawala. Then yung velvet disease is parang gold siya or velvet like dust sa katawan ng isda. Then yung dropsy is yung bloated stomach and parang nakaangat yung scales. Then yung columnaris is my white patches, ulcers, fin erosion. Then yung causes nito is yung poor water quality, overcrowding, stress, contaminated tank. Then yung signs is yung white spot, nawawala yung color, tapos nasisira yung pins, tapos nagagap sila sa surface. Then yung effect nito is nanghihina sila, mabagal yung pag-grow nila, tsaka pwede rin silang mamatay. Para ma-prevent ito is kailangan ng good water quality, quarantine new fish, salt treatment, proper feeding, and clean tank maintenance. Ang challenges in the Philippines naman is limited lang yung hatchery technology natin, no? So, pangalawa is umaasa tayo sa imported broodstock. Pangatlo, mataas yung fry mortality. Then, pang-apat, mahal yung equipment, yung filters, yung aerators, yung pumps. Then, kulang ang training ng breeders and malakas ang competition from other country, lalo na yung Thailand and Indonesia. And of course, the climate stress. So, yung nagbabago yung water parameters, kaya kailangan natin ng local breeding programs, training at better hatchery systems. So, overall is yung ornamental fish farming ay isang importante bahagi ng aquaculture, from eggs, larvae, fry, juvenile hanggang sa adult stage. So, bawat stages is kailangan ng tamang system, yung water quality, yung feeding at disease prevention. So, at kahit maraming challenges or may challenges tayo dito sa Philippines is napakalaki pa rin ang potential ng ornamental fish industry. Lalo na kung ma-improve pa yung hatchery technology at local breeding natin.